Are you someone who doesn't want to sacrifice your cute winter outfits for being warm? Well, hi, I'm Naza. I'm here to tell you that these two things can coexist. Yeah. I am someone who often wears mini skirts in the winter time, and as someone who really enjoys winter and fall fashion, I want to answer the question that I get in my day-to-day, sometimes even in my comment section, of how I stay warm during these trying times. Because I am someone who strongly believes that winter weather actually serves as an optimal base for your styling. So let's get into it. If you're someone who loves to wear a skirt but hesitates to do so during the winter time because of possibly sub-zero temperatures, I'm going to give you this tip that I hope more people will do, because I've been on this wave for years and I swear by it, is the fleece line tights. The fleece line tights are essential for skirt wearers during the winter time. You do not have to stop wearing your skirts in the winter time just because it is cold outside. If you wear a pair of fleece line tights underneath your skirt, you will be warmed, honey, you will be warmed. I specifically recommend the Vert V tights for my baddies who are of a slightly medium to darker complexion. Not sponsored, but they do have a brown lining underneath the mesh of the tights, so it looks more skin tone for us brown skin baddies. Honestly, this tip applies to looser pants as well. I know for me, when I wear cargos in the winter, if I don't have my fleece line tights on, it feels like the little space between my leg and the pant creates a little vacuum for cold air to come in. So I actually wear my fleece line tights underneath cargos as well during the winter time. I personally love to wear my shorter outfits with fleece line tights and a pair of patterned or ripped tights above it, just to add some more interest to the outfit. And depending on the type of thinner tights you wear on top of your fleece line tights, it could also add an extra layer of warmth if you have a thinner pair of fleece line tights. With these, you know, I can't go anywhere without my leg warmers. Guys, leg warmers and arm warmers are essential for me during the winter time. I actually sometimes carry them out into summertime because I just like them so much, and also sometimes I be getting cold in a little AC. Layering in general is going to be your best friend, and I know there's a lot to be said to the art of layering, period. I could do a whole nother video on layering in itself, but let's say we have our fleece line tights and a pair of pattern tights above it, right? I'm gonna set the scene. Maybe I'm wearing a skirt, some fleece line tights underneath the skirt, some tights that kind of like come up like garters underneath, and then I have some leg warmers and a chunky boot underneath. That's a cute little silhouette for the bottom half of an outfit. Leg warmers can add that extra oomph, warmth-wise and silhouette-wise. And paying attention to silhouettes can honestly help you a lot with feeling like your outfits have extra oomph, extra interest, extra texture. Like, a simple leg warmer can do that. And there are so many different types of silhouettes for leg warmers. I mostly wear the slouch sort of ribbed leg warmers, but I also have this pair of black leg warmers that is more like flares out at the bottom. So yeah, there's a lot of room to experiment even in the leg warmers realm. There are a lot of different designs, textures, fabrics you can use for them. And honestly, if you're a DIY girly, it sounds like a pretty easy DIY. I might have to do that myself. Arm warmers. Arm warmers are gonna take us into the next tip for this video, but the extremities, guys, make sure those extremities are covered. I personally feel like I'm built very particular. Let me know if any of y'all relate down in the comments. If my extremities are cold, then I'm toast. The rest of me is going to be cold as well. Like my ears, my fingertips, my feet, like they need to be warm or else I will feel cold of the rest of my body. But if this sounds like something that might resonate with you, I would say arm warmers and earmuffs are going to be a must for you. I've seen so many cute types of earmuffs to go with different aesthetics. Also some basic ones. I currently have a pair of basic white fluffy earmuffs. I've also had a pair of black earmuffs in the past that have little bat wings up top. So if you're someone that wears more edgy fashion, that could work for you too. The world is your oyster. There are lots of different silhouettes and designs for earmuffs. Just like with leg warmers, like guys, you just gotta research. You just gotta research for real. For me personally, earmuffs are a must. I don't know, my ears get super cold, and when my ears are cold, my head feels cold. and then my whole body feels cold. So there's lots to think about in that realm. Arm warmers and gloves, very similar. The theme for this video is that the basic things that you use to layer don't have to be necessarily basic. They can be cutesy. I have a few pairs of knitted blue and white gloves that one of my dear friends made for me for Christmas that I've been using a lot, and I've been getting a lot of wear out of them and have been keeping my hands warm during the frigid New York temperatures. I also have these cinnamon roll gloves that are so cute. I think they're technically made for kids, but I've never cared, Still use them and they still fit, So already we have tights, leg warmers, earmuffs, arm warmers, and gloves that have been made to be cutie maxed. Next, I want to get into something that I'm actually really passionate about in terms of like investments, and this might have a lot of boos in the chat, and I completely understand because they can be a little pricey, but your coat does not have to be bones. Your coat does not have to be ugly. My most worn coat is not even super expensive. It's less expensive than a North Face puffer, and it's still super cute. It's a decked out fur denim jacket, and my best friend actually got this for my 21st birthday, so I love you, Sakura. Thank you so much. And while this coat is more of a statement piece and is $99, if this is out of your price range, I honestly recommend going to stores like Burlington, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. They have a lot of even like designer coats or just coats in general with nicer silhouettes and construction that are still cute, even if it's not something with an added feature like fur. If it's like a color that you really like, so it's a puffer jacket, but now it's a pink puffer jacket instead of like a black puffer jacket to go over your pink fit. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are ways to elevate your outerwear without breaking the bank. And also thrifting is always going to be something that I recommend on this channel. I thrift a lot of my wardrobe, or I get it secondhand, either occasionally on Depop, but actually very often on Mercari Japan. I've been using Mercari Japan since 2021. No, like I've used Mercari Japan and proxy services to shop since like 2021, and if you do enough digging, it one definitely feels like thrifting because you gotta put in the work, but two, I've literally bought a coat in the past for $4 off Mercari Japan. One of my puffers that I wear is blue and white Coco Lulu from Mercari Japan. It was $16, guys. If you do enough searching around and scrounging around on the internet in general, you can find some pretty good deals for some pretty cute coats. Like, don't feel like you have to default to a black zip up puffer for every single outfit that you wear, because it may not necessarily go with every single outfit that you wear or have in mind to style. So just something to think about. I highly recommend looking on Mercari, eBay, and then your local thrift. And if not those former options, Burlington, TJ Maxx, Marshalls have really good options for cute coats as well. You do not have to spend $300 on a coat, guys. You don't. You can if you want to. If you have it like that, that's perfectly fine, but you don't have to. You can spend under $100 on a cute coat. My last point that I want to get into for this video is actually fabrics, textiles. And I'm not gonna get too deep into textile terminology because I am not him. I am not the expert. I'm just going to go based off of vibes and feel, and I'm going to try to describe this to you guys as best as possible. For example, this is a fit that I would wear in the wintertime. It is currently 40 degrees outside in New York right now, and I have a skirt on and a lace top on. And you might be wondering, Naza, how would you be warm in this? The lace top is nothing. It's basically nothing. Well, if you use the tip that I gave you earlier, you're going to layer some fleece lined tights underneath your skirt, but also you might opt for a nicer, thicker material for your bottoms if you're wearing a lighter shirt. Fabrics play such a role in how warm or cool you're going to be on a given day. Like in the summer, when it's warmer outside, a lot of people recommend wearing linens, cotton fabrics outside because it's more breathable and comfortable when it's hot and humid outside. However, thicker materials. I'm currently wearing a vintage velvet skirt. This is actually my great-grandmother's. It was gifted to me. Again, secondhand. So if you're currently styling an outfit and you want to wear a top with a lighter material, maybe on the bottom you'll opt for a skirt or a pair of pants that are a thicker material. So like a corduroy pants or a velvet skirt like the one I'm wearing right now, or just simply wearing your fleece lined tights underneath some pants or a skirt. Obviously use your own discretion based off how cold it is where you are at the moment. I personally really like materials that feel fuzzy, and they don't have to be of the highest quality textile. You can have a pair of acrylic shorts and still have this sort of woven sort of quality to it, where the pieces of fabric are layered enough for it to feel fluffy and warm. I'm specifically thinking of my Addicted shorts, which I love to style during the winter. I love a pair of bloomers during the winter, but these Addicted ones are made of acrylic. They're not made of wool, they're not made of cashmere, they're not made of the highest quality material, but they are still very warm. That paired with a pair of fleece lined tights, and I'm perfect. I'm set. You can't tell me I'm cold in this. You can't tell me that I'm making you feel cold in this, because I am set. I have a few recommendations on this topic. First, if you're buying your clothes in person, really take the time to feel the fabric and the material of the clothing that you might be thinking of buying. I say this not only for quality's sake and to make sure you're really getting the longevity out of the pieces that you may be buying, but also for practicality's sake. If it's 30 degrees outside and you are buying a pair of the thinnest denim pants imaginable, you may not be getting the most bang for your buck, and you will be cold. You will be cold. So I recommend, if you're buying clothes in store specifically for the winter season, to do a quick fabric size up before you hit purchase. And if you're buying online, it may be a bit harder to get a sense of how warm a material might be, but some good indicators for added warmth are fur or faux fur, leather, which I'll get into in a second, cashmere, wool, velour, and velvet. I have a pair of suede-esque shorts that aren't actual suede, but the finish gives a suede-like look to it, and honestly adds an extra layer of warmth to what are otherwise pretty short shorts. And because of that and my other previous tips, I'm still able to wear them during the winter time. So I already mentioned that for me personally, my extremities are really important to keep warm, because if they are not warm, then the whole rest of my body feels cold. In that vein, I think it's really important to consider what shoes you're wearing during the winter time. And yes, it's really important for your shoes to be utilitarian, especially if it snows a lot where you live during the winter time. But as I've stated in previous points, your shoes can be practical and cute. For example, I have a pair of waterproof boots that are cute, itty bitty, and light blue, and they work for snow and rain. But because the colorway is a light blue, in my opinion, it makes the shoe even cuter. That's one example. Two, I have a pair of fur-lined boots that I thrifted from Plato's Closet that are white, so maybe not the most practical in terms of color, but the fur lining keeps my feet warm, especially if I have my fleece-lined tights on underneath and then a pair of socks. So we have cute snow boots, we have fur boots, and then we have leather boots. I feel like fall and winter are the prime seasons to break out your Doc Martens if you have them. If you don't have Doc Martens, I feel like any pair of faux leather to leather boots will keep your feet honestly pretty warm. They actually keep your feet so toasty, and I know this because when I've worn my leather boots in the summer, my Docs had my feet sweating, burning up. Like I can rarely ever wear my Docs in the summertime. So that is an honest recommendation in terms of wintertime feetwear that will also keep your lower extremities warm. These are the tips and tricks that I use in my day-to-day styling during the winter time. I hope they can be of some use to you guys, and also give you a little bit of insight onto how I stay warm, so that maybe you can stay warm during these trying times. But yeah, in the spirit of me finally sitting down to record the talking part of this video, I am going to show you guys how I would continue to layer upon this current outfit so that I could wear it outside and still be warm. Currently, this is what we're working with. I am going to first put my gloves slash arm warmers on. I'm going to use these black arm warmers slash fingerless gloves that I got from YESSTYLE in like 2021. They're a little ratty, but they still do the job, so I've kept them. Truth be told, it's 42 degrees outside, so it's not the coldest by my standards. So I don't need this by any means, but it's definitely helpful just in case my fingers start to get cold. Ignore my messy ass closet, but also I get it if you can't. I am going to take something with two of the style points I've mentioned, leather or faux leather and fur. This jacket I thrifted recently and it is so warm. I was wearing this the other day in like 30-degree weather and I was still hot. The leather mixed with the fur, it's like a match made in heaven. I'm probably gonna wear this open when I go outside because it's a little warmer today than it was the other day when I was still hot in this jacket. So we have arm warmers and we have a leather jacket with fur lined on the inside. Let's see what else we can do to make this outfit warm. This outfit is on the simpler end of what I would usually wear, and part of that is because I am not wearing leg warmers with this because I feel like the leg warmers would bunch up the silhouette at the ankles too much. So I'm just gonna wear my Docs, and these are leather, so I feel like they insulate your feet pretty well, as I've described earlier. And lastly, I'm gonna put on my white earmuffs. But I have my earmuffs on, and this is the finished outfit. At the time of recording this, I'm getting ready to leave for my friend's show. So this is what I'm going to be wearing today. I like it. It's simple, but it works, and I really like the way that the outfit came together. It's cute. Cutie, cutie. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you could glean some tips and tricks that I use on the day-to-day in the winter season to keep myself looking cute and warm at the same time. I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching this, and that you stay warm with your stylish self. Okay, alright. Bye guys. Bye!